This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. When we think about the COVID-19 vaccine hesitancy in the Black community, let's remember, it didn't happen by chance. It's justified in history. But the will to change the narrative is strong today, and our people are lending their voices to the conversation. We're sharing our stories and the reasons that made us choose the vaccine so we can lead the way for others to make a well-informed choice too. To hear our stories, visit hereforuswa.org.
The world needed a safer trampoline. Dr. Keith Alexander, inventor of the Spring-Free Trampoline, wanted to bring the joy of trampolining to his daughter. His wife said they were too dangerous, so he invented his own. Spring-Free Trampoline is the world's safest trampoline, with no springs or hard edges. Now, parents can have peace of mind that their kids are outside jumping safely. To learn more, visit springfreetrampoline.com.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your driver's license is important so you can get back and forth to work, get your kids to school, and back and forth to daycare. If your license has been suspended because you can't pay your tickets, you can't do any of those things. Let's talk about Chapter 13 bankruptcy. You may have heard the tickets cannot be discharged, but they can be dealt with in a Chapter 13 case. Why not come in for a free consultation? The chapter you choose will make all the difference to your getting back legally on the road. Let's design a plan to pay off your tickets and restore your license immediately. I'm attorney Travis Gagne. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle. All right, let's talk about Jeff and Brittany, okay? Not Britney Spears, by the way. This is just regular. Britney. This is regular Jeff.
Yeah, free Britney. She's been freeing her shirts, it seems like, on her Instagram.
I got no problem with that.
It's so crazy.
Yeah. This is a Britney that's already free.
Okay.
So Jeff and Brittany are both free. Though you could argue that they're not as free as they used to be because they got married recently near Toronto. But Brittany was very, very disappointed because one of her bridesmaids couldn't travel to Canada because she lives in London and is not a Canadian citizen. And, of course, with COVID and all that, they're just like, yeah, sorry, pal.
And Canada's pretty strict with their stuff.
Yeah, so as a surprise, Jeff contacted a hologram company and arranged for her bridesmaid, whose name is Sarah, to appear live and virtually at the reception.
No.
This
is trippy.
Scotty, beam me up.
I love this. Yeah. I really, really do. So a week before the wedding, Jeff searched the nets and found a company who could bring his wife-to-be's best friend to the wedding using the latest technology.
What does that even cost?
Yeah, I mean, that
Jeff must be doing pretty well.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. Here's Jeff talking about it, as well as the CEO of the hologram company commenting on it.
I just went on Google and I typed in top global hologram or holographic companies, and lo and behold, Art Media was at the top.
I mean, I said, hey, no promises, but we'll try to make it happen in this schedule.
And they made it happen, dude.
Dang, that's neat.
That really, really is neat.
Imagine like that her parents are paying for the wedding. And I remember there were certain things like when my wife wanted, or even that I wanted, I'm like, yeah, we can't run that one by your parents. Like, I'm not going to ask your parents to foot the bill for a magician or an ice sculpture. Do you think like they're like, hey, mom, hey, dad, we need like $15,000 so that Sarah could be a part of the wedding?
Yeah. And of course, there was a massive time difference. So bridesmaid Sarah had to go to the company's London studio where she waited to be beamed to the wedding reception across the ocean.
Beam me up.
Sarah, beam me up.
Because they wanted to do this live.
So she was standing like in a room with like a green screen.
Yeah, so it wasn't a pre-recorded message. I mean, they wanted this to be live. And here's the couple talking about how the technology was amazing.
So without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to one of Britney's bridesmaids from London, Sarah Reddington.
Ring, ring. London calling. Oh, my God.
And she's wearing the dress and everything, and so she's at her wedding as a bridesmaid.
I'm impressed by the bride because this could be a bridezilla moment where all the attention's on my bridesmaid who's a hologram.
Right? Yeah, you're absolutely right.
This bitch didn't even come to my wedding. She got beamed in.
Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, and did we play the last clip yet?
No.
Yeah, here's one where the couple's talking about how they were just so happy about the technology.
She was more or less indistinguishable from all the other bridesmaids. Like my aunts, as an example, they felt that they were on Star Trek. Like literally.
It was pretty trippy, though, I have to say. It felt like we were in the future.
I think you guys could take pictures in front of the hologram, too, for pictures.
Yeah. That's really cool.
Holo presence technology.
I wonder how much that did cost.
It's got to, dude, whenever you go to a website and they don't have the prices of whatever the services that they have, that they provide, that means it's super expensive.
Yeah.
It's like market price at a restaurant.
Of course.
I'm not even ordering this because I know it's way more expensive than everything else on the menu.
And they did get free pub. A lot of folks are talking about this, so I wonder if that got them a discount or no. Probably not.
Yeah, probably not. Yeah,
I'm guessing no.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I could be wrong. Like, what? I'm trying to think of if there's ever an instance where I'd want to use a hologram.
And this was
I guess a wedding would be probably the top one.
Yeah, maybe a graduation if somebody couldn't be there to watch somebody in their life, like a parent, being there.
Maybe parties you really don't want to go to.
Oh, that would be fantastic. I'd be doing that all the time.
Pre-record your hologram, just me just eating.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely.
In the corner eating chicken wings again.
Wow. I mean, it's kind of like a Zoom thing, really. We're already in the Zoom land where it's kind of people are getting used to the fact that I don't got to be there, but I'm there via Zoom. And now if you could do it hologram style, they're right. It's right out of Star Wars, really.
One of the things that they're trying to hit are the conventions. You beam in a presenter for their presentation in front of a room of people, and you save on travel complications. That's like one of their pitches.
Well, and that's what the sports people do. If you watch like ESPN, everyone, pardon the interruption, all those shows, a lot of those guys are not in the same room.
Yeah, but in this situation, the hologram would be on the stage. Like, let's say we go to our radio convention. They're like, oh, whoever, like, well, Brother Weege, your old buddy, congratulations in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, got himself in the Hall of Fame,
just got announced. So I say he doesn't feel like going to Chicago. He could just be beamed to Chicago and share all of his raunchy stories.
It would be cool. Yeah, I know. You're right, because it looks like they're there.
Yeah. And it'd be weird to have him beamed because he'll probably get naked or something.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You're not.
Brah, I thought it was only from the waist up.
Yeah. This is a Hall of Fame speech, by the way. We's getting in the Hall of Fame. I cannot wait because the last time he got to be in charge of something and be on the stage and have the microphone.
Oh, it was awesome.
He showed some pictures that really shouldn't have been shown at any convention. And so, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens. But yeah, you're right, Steve. It's a lot different than being zoomed on a screen. It looks like you're actually there.
Do you think like certain celebrities would like this too? Because then you don't have to be like, let's just say, we want Russell Wilson to speak in front of our high school. Well, we'll beam him to you. And then he'll do the presentation. He's talking to that specific school, but then he doesn't have to worry about being swarmed by everybody wanting autographs and pictures. It's just like, click, he's gone.
Yeah, that would be awesome. And of course, if he could really actually see the crowd to some degree, so that if somebody got up to a microphone and asked a question, he could see that person, then I would really feel like, all right, he sees me, I see him, that's good, we're good.
I'm sure they could work that out. I mean, if they have the technology to beam you as a hologram, they could easily set up a FaceTime or a Zoom.
Look at
call.
you. I mean, you know what? You're just making a lot of assumptions. You don't work for that company.
Oh, I can figure it out.
No, I'm the CEO. It's like, that friggin' Steve. Now we got to go do this because he doesn't know that it isn't that hard. Oh, damn it, Steve.
Then what about music, though?
Ooh, wow.
You could have a band playing in every town at the same time.
Boy, I don't know. That's a tough one. I've never seen a hologram performance of anything like being there, so I can't comment.
Yeah, I haven't either. I'd be up for checking it out, but it would be weird, like if all of a sudden, let's just say it was like KISS. They're performing at the Tacoma Dome, right? But they're really just a hologram, and they're also performing at Madison Square Garden at that same exact moment.
That sounds about like the most KISS thing possible.
That's why of all bands to do it.
Yeah.
So you're telling us that we can play 15 shows in one night and get paid 15 times.
Yeah.
I mean, that's basically, it wasn't hologram, but that's basically what Metallica did with their live stream when they did it at the drive-ins.
Oh,
remember?
yeah.
It was all on the same night, started at the same time in like a bunch of different cities.
But you had to watch it on a screen. Wouldn't it have been cooler if it was hologram Metallica?
It would be awesome.
I mean, if you had to pick, if you're going to see it as a theater show where it's on just a movie screen, or we'll give you the same exact experience, but instead of a movie screen, they're on a stage and it's hologram versions of them.
Yeah, that would be super cool. It's futuristic.
I still don't know if I'd pay the same as if they were right in my place.
No, I'd pay $19.99, no more.
Oh, yeah. Basically the movie ticket price.
Right.
Boy, I suppose if they could find a way to make as much money as going on tour like they would, and they could do it in a shorter amount of time and not have to travel out of their homes, I bet a lot of bands would do it if we were willing to, like, oh, sure, instead of paying like $80 or $100 or $500, we'd only have to pay $20.
I don't like it.
No?
I want to go to live shows.
But what if it's
With
like the sound system is going to still kick out the same loud music?
You're in the mosh pit with people.
Yeah. You're feeling the energy of the music.
You're getting into fights like normal.
At the end of the day, sometimes you're seeing a concert, you're so far away, it doesn't even, like, you don't even know if it's a real person or not up there on stage.
That's true. Okay,
Right?
I'll go with those ones I'm fine with then.
Yeah, that's the thing. You're, like Steve said, they've already got screens up in these shows to have you see the stage better. And I feel like when I'm at those shows and paid my money and I find myself looking at that screen, I'm like, what am I doing? I could have just watched a bootleg of this video at this point.
But you're enjoying the loud music, the ambiance, the vibe, the energy that you don't get if you're sitting on your couch watching that same concert.
That's true.
It's the same way for me. Like when I originally thought of like going to like a Seahawks game and sitting up in the nosebleeds, it was like, I could just watch it at home and have better views. But there's nothing like going to a live Seahawks game.
To hear the loud roar of the crowd.
Yeah.
What if they set up the Seahawks game also hologram, then they beamed it into a high school football field, so that way people who can't afford to go to Seahawks games for $10.99, you get to enjoy it with all of your friends.
Boy, that's actually not a bad idea.
Yeah, that's kind of neat too.
That is not
like
a
all
bad
of these
idea.
I'm totally in for.
Hologram Hawks.
Yeah, basically, it's like, well, you know, you're standing in life. You're like, you're like, yeah, we're at the hologram game because, well,
babe, I got us tickets to see the Seahawks. Should get them off of Wish again.
yeah, honey.
What?
Yeah, it's like the bargain matinee.
They're playing at Puyallup. I mean, it's crazy. Sparks Field.
Woo! Yeah. Hey, The Rock. Man, he once again did something really awesome. What did he do? I'll tell you at 8:18 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. When we think about the COVID-19 vaccine hesitancy in the Black community, let's remember, it didn't happen by chance. It's justified in history. But the will to change the narrative is strong today, and our people are lending their voices to the conversation. We're sharing our stories and the reasons that made us choose the vaccine so we can lead the way for others to make a well-informed choice too. To hear our stories, visit hereforuswa.org.
Your kids will be saying,
"Please 5 more minutes. I can't believe I did that."
And,
"Look how high I can bounce."
Spring Free is the world's safest trampoline, the place where stories are made. The innovative design boasts no springs, so you know you're safe. Go ahead and create the greatest stories you'll tell your friends. We're back in stock. Get it while you can. To learn more about the world's safest trampoline, visit springfreetrampoline.com.
Mom, come watch us.
Wenatchee is gorgeous in the spring with its lush green rolling hills, abundant wildflowers everywhere, and the views of the Columbia River. The local food scene offers an abundant selection of authentic international cuisines featuring the unique farm-fresh ingredients of the region. Wenatchee is also home to award-winning wines, handcrafted hard ciders, and a talented handful of local brewers producing fine craft beers. Visit Wenatchee, the heart of Washington State.
$20 million, $19 million, $6 million. These are all awards recovered for clients of Phillips Law Firm. To win big, you have to fight big. And Phillips Law has been fighting the too-big-to-fail insurance industry for decades. Not every case will have a multi-million-dollar outcome, but Phillips Law will fight just as hard to recover the outcome you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or on the job, call or click today at 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. Look, I know it doesn't matter what we think of The Rock.
It doesn't matter what you think!
But man, I mean, he is like, really, he's battling Tom Hanks for being who's the coolest celebrity.
Yeah, you can almost throw even Bill Murray in there, like guys that do random stuff with fans in the most unexpected ways.
Yeah. And it happened again as Dwayne The Rock Johnson gave a bus full of tourists in Los Angeles the surprise of their lives when he rolled up next to them and said hello from his truck.
All right, this is kind of funny. There's a tour bus here that always tours through my neighborhood. Hey, you guys know where I can find The Rock? How you guys doing?
Special surprise
How you guys doing? Everybody good? All right. Hey, you're very welcome. All right, brother. All right, thank you. Love you too. Oh, well, that was fun. It's a good way to start off my day. Bye.
So it's one of those buses that don't have a top to it, and everyone's got their cell phones out because they're taking pictures of like the celebrity homes or whatever as a tourist attraction. I just thought he's like, does anyone know where The Rock is or whatever he said?
That's funny.
It's just so... He does cool things, but it's always like, it's funny when people do say he's the humble bragger, because he is, and I love it. I love everything about it.
Yeah, because of course he recorded that for his own stuff, and look, that's great. I mean that's what you want from a celeb, a guy that knows. Look, you gotta be a man of the people, and be very friendly and amiable when you're interacting. And he still got to do it on his own terms. He pulls up in his truck, says a couple of hellos, and he gets to leave. Which I think that's the way it should be with everybody, rather than this paparazzi lifestyle where you feel like you get to intrude on someone's life because they were somebody.
That's like I almost feel like whoever ran that celebrity tour is like, look, that wasn't expected. You guys owe me at least $20 more.
Oh, wow.
You're not getting off the bus until you pay me more.
Well, all right. Well, like I said, when everybody was supposed to be nice and just cool, I forgot there was that guy, too.
I gave you the extra experience. I got The Rock to say what's up. Now you guys pay me more.
Yeah. I think I'd say no, sir. I don't think you knew that was going to happen.
See, my anxiety would get to me, though. Obviously, The Rock, he probably doesn't care, but I would be like, watch, I pull up next to these people and they're going to like boo me. You know what I mean? Or like they're going to like go tell me to F off, or they're going to have something negative to say. I'm like, I don't want to deal with this.
Oh, dude, I would be the same way. Off. Yeah, I'm with you, because I remember we would go to listener parties, and they're specifically, designed for the people who like our show to go. And I yet did not want to go out there and talk to people because I thought they're going to hate me. And I remember people going, do you know that they like the show? That's why they're here. It's a you listener party. Who's going to come here? Now, this was back before people actually did go to like websites and stuff, fan pages, and complain and say they hate something, even though it's like, this is a fan page. Why would you come here? But back then, people were pretty cool. They would actually, because they were fans, they would actually go to a place they were a fan of. But I was always afraid they, just like you, that they hate me.
Well, even like on Sunday, I met a nice woman that came over. She's like, my mom's here. She's a huge fan of yours. She came because of you to see me wrestle over in Everett. And even can you just walk up to her and say hi? I'm like, I don't know. How's this going to go? And as I'm walking up, in my head, I'm like, watch, I'm going to walk up, and this woman's like, I don't know who the hell you are. Why are you bothering me?
Oh, I know.
And of course, it went really well, and she was super nice, and it was a really fun conversation. But that anxiety of like, how is this going to go? I'm not The Rock is on a whole other level of just like, he just doesn't care.
Yeah.
Like, I know I'm going to make people happy.
Yeah. And who doesn't like the guy? Even the humble bragging aspect. You're like, God, yeah, he's humble bragging. Days, but yeah, he's doing good stuff. It's hard to hate the guy. He's just always, he's always in a good mood.
As Julian said, he's the people's champion after all.
Yeah.
Earn that.
Yeah. And he's, and there's humility. He does, it seems like he was raised right. And the fame hasn't gone to his head. At least from what I can see, the way he carries himself in public.
Unless you ask Vin Diesel.
Oh, yeah, Vin Diesel. Yeah, he is. Yeah, Vin.
See, you wonder about Vin. Like, why don't you like The Rock? Everyone likes The Rock.
Dude, but do you notice that Vin is very unlikable? I have to tell you, I don't like the dude.
He's very handsome, though.
Well, he looks like somebody that, I don't know why, he reminds me of somebody that is just... It was great. I'll get back to you, though.
The guy I wrestled on Sunday, he wrestles all around the world and country and stuff like that, so he's got a good fan base. And somebody said, beat that, whatever, out of that dollar store Vin Diesel. And I was like,
oh, nice! That's fantastic. Dude, that should be that should be a poster.
Dollar store Vin Diesel. I thought that was the funniest thing. Like, that's a great insult.
It surely is. Yeah, you got some quality there. Yeah. Vin saved himself by being Groot. Otherwise, he's just so unlikable. Even though, he's done those Fast and Furious movies, and even though it's about family, he's got resting bee face. He just never seems like he's happy, even at the end of his own movies.
You're forgetting one of his best roles ever in
The
Iron Giant.
That's right, he was the dude, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He was the giant.
Who the hell is the Iron Giant?
It's a cartoon, animation.
It's an animated, like Jennifer Aniston's one of the voices in it. It is probably one of the greatest films of our generation.
Does that make him, like him?
Makes me more okay with him.
Yeah, and it's weird because there's no reason to not like Vin Diesel. I can't point to anything he's done to make me think that he's not a good guy. And
except have beef with The Rock.
Well, that's the latest. I just, there's some people that you just, and look, people said that about me. Just the way they look, the way they be, they're unlikable even though they really haven't done anything.
Right.
And Vin Diesel hasn't done anything to me or anything in public that makes me really accept The Rock thing now, which, I mean, I know you're pissed about that.
Yeah, I was cool with Vin Diesel until then.
Yeah. Now, here's what I'm not cool with. There are more bears showing up. Bears are attacked. I don't know what. Is it because of all? Is it the phones and so we get to see it and people are recording it? Has this always been going on but we just didn't have the technology to show it? But I am tired of these bears encroaching upon my land. They're everywhere.
Your land.
Have you met one yet?
It is my land.
It is definitely not your land. The bears were there first.
I don't know. There's no proof to that. Show me on the Instas.
Oh, sure.
I got Instas that show me there first.
Have you met one yet?
Have I met a bear?
Yeah.
No, not in person.
Oh, okay.
I've seen a bear in person.
What do you mean, at the zoo?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I don't know if that counts.
Why not?
Yeah, why not?
Well, and in that case, I've met everything then, if you want to say it that way.
Yeah.
Good for you.
I mean, in the wild,
You
where
guys going to animal shame me?
I think I am going to animal shame you, sir. Because
first you're telling me audiobooks aren't really books.
Yeah, that's true. And now meeting an animal in the zoo is not like encountering one in the wild.
Well, I mean, it's pretty wild there in the zoo.
It's a wild and crazy time. Somebody filmed this bear in a parking lot in Tennessee approaching a guy who's cleaning out his minivan. The other thing is, it seems like these bear sightings are everywhere. Like, aren't bears supposed to be stuck in one area of the country? They're moving out.
Yeah, well, we're taking over everyone their land. Like, when I see, like, deer in my neighborhood, I'm like, well, this was theirs first.
Oh, see, you and Reb, don't believe the hype. We were here first. As far as I'm concerned, didn't God create the animals after? I thought, or we were the last thought. I forget how it goes in the book. Like on the sixth day.
I'm talking about like we're taking over places where they were just hanging out and they were building buildings.
I am quoting some books that say we have domain over them. Therefore, they have to do what we tell them to do, don't we? Don't they?
Yeah, you don't tell a bear that.
I was going to say, let's let you tell a bear that and see how it goes.
Oh, I will be our negotiator.
I know the bear at the one up north.
Yeah, I'll bring my own negotiators. Do you know my two negotiators?
Yeah, what Lily named him Frank.
Yeah. I'll tell the bears, Danny. I'll bring my two negotiators. You might have met them before, Mr. Smith and Mr. Wesson. They'll have a good conversation with the bear.
Wow. Oh, wow. Look at you talking tough about an item that you don't even own.
That's why I'll bring somebody.
Or even
Good God.
Hey, yo, I got something to tell you.
Oh, yeah?
DJ, internet tough guy.
Did you see how I handled that Nerf weapon? I was amazing.
Yeah.
I shot
How
the
does
Reb
this thing fire? Oops, I shot you. Videoing.
Bullseye. The Reb in the wild shot him and took him down. It happened. It's on the films.
So it's a you better watch out. Those bears might be trying to get into your honey pot.
Well, that's barely possible.
And how?
Thank you. So anyway, this is in Tennessee.
Okay.
Tennessee, the bears are invading. This guy's cleaning out his minivan, and he's halfway inside. Two doors are wide open, and you can check this video out on the BJ and Migs page of KISW.com. He has no idea the bear is there. He's just doing his business, cleaning out his minivan. So they shout out a warning, as these people are filming, as he climbs inside and closes the door just in time.
Hey, sir.
There's a bear.
There's a bear right there.
Seriously, it's like the parking lot.
God.
Bears do not belong in parking lots.
There's a bear right there.
I like how nonchalant they are. Yeah, I guess you don't want to scream and startle the bear, which is smart. But I like how the guy just closed his doors and just got in his own car. He's like, "Yep, not going to hang out with me, Mr. Bear."
Dude, I'm sorry, Mr. Bear, get out.
Well, what if the bear parked his car in that parking lot?
Yeah, we don't know anything about that bear.
Looks like that. Yeah, I mean that's just what bears do.
Yeah, I'm telling you right now. I mean, I want to kind of maybe he does have a nice ride.
That is trippy though. That there's a bear just like walking around in a area, and then there's this woman that's filming the bear.
Yeah,
I don't know how. Oh, the bear's just trying to get the French fries that are on the ground.
That's true. Yeah.
Oh, fair enough.
Open ketchup.
Who drops all those fries?
Yeah, you're right. That's a sin right there.
A drunk person.
Or a child.
A child.
A drunk child. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, they're the
Stupid
same
drunk
thing.
child.
Yeah. Wow. Not digging it. Just saying.
That would trip me out if I was going to my car and I have my keys out and I'm like, okay, time to go home. And then there's just a bear hanging out eating French fries in the same parking lot. I think I'd go back to the bar or the restaurant or wherever I was and just like wait it out.
I would definitely do what people ask that bears do in the woods. I would do that right there. And there'd be no question that, in fact, the answer would be yes to that question.
What about your friend Smith and Wesson?
Well, I don't bring them with me everywhere. I'd have to actually negotiate with them. And by the way, it will truly be somebody that has a Mr. Smith and somebody has a Mr. Weston. I got friends that know how to do stuff like that. I'll be bringing them. I'm like, the bear wants to come at me. I'm right. It's a battle.
Somebody said I had a 10-minute standoff with a bear when I was 15 in Ording. He got all
10
scared.
minutes?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So he got scared when my foot twitched and I made a noise with the gravel.
Well, they say you're supposed to make loud noises. I mean, I remember when I was in Wyoming.
No!
That's
off! Ah!
I mean, my wife was laughing at me, but we were hiking trails in Wyoming, and they said, look, dude, there could be bears out there. They kept saying, bang, just get 2 rocks and keep banging them every once in a while, making that loud noise so they'll stay away because they don't like that big rock banger, apparently. So there you go. Don't laugh, Danny. That's what I did. I kept the bears away. I was quite formidable.
Thinking about BJ walking through the woods banging rocks together just makes me laugh.
Just yell at the bears, man. I'm sure.
What are you? All of a sudden, are you Bear Grylls? How do you know?
You have enough. You have a very special talent. You'll probably make the bear cry.
Listen,
tell me about your dad.
It depends. If it's a girl bear, guy bears they're immune.
That's Papa Bear.
Yeah.
Tell me about your relationship with Papa Bear.
That could happen if I get a chance to really, have that conversation. But they might eat me before that happens. I mean, usually the women I talk to have a drink in their hand. I don't know if bears like to drink.
So it said, who dropped the fries? Probably whoever saw the bear first and tossed them aside to escape.
Good point.
I think I'd hold on to my bear, my fries.
Yeah. Your life or your fries. All right, Mr. Bear, I'll be tasty once I finish these fries. Yeah, that's scary as ass. Sorry, ain't doing it. Yesterday, Steve, he did get this one right.
Ne is the symbol for what chemical element?
Ne. Nitrous.
No.
Nickel.
No.
Noob.
No.
I almost forgot. I really was sitting there going, I can't remember what it was, but I then finally did. Did you?
No, I don't have any idea. Neon.
Woo, good job, buddy. Damn, I can't use that question again.
Yeah. Actually, you said Steve got it right, but he didn't get it right.
I got it wrong.
Yeah. All right. So there was
failure.
False advertising right there. Yeah. Well, you want a shot at beating Steve? Right or wrong? Hey, you get more right than he does. That's all it takes. 206-421-ROCK. We're playing Beat Miggs at 8:47.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. Here's another question from a listener. How long is a bankruptcy going to affect my credit rating?
Of course, most of the time, by the time we're talking about filing a bankruptcy, the credit has already taken a huge hit. Chapter 7 is going to affect it more negatively than Chapter 13. Chapter 7 stays on your credit report for 10 years from the time you file. It usually takes 7 or 8 years for your credit scores to get back into the normal range in a Chapter 7 case. However, your credit will start to recover even in Chapter 7 after about a year. You'll be able to get credit again right away, usually before your case is even over. Chapter 13 stays on your credit report for 7 years and usually takes about 3.5 years for your credit to get back in the normal range. So Chapter 13 will mean your credit gets better much more rapidly.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at ChooseTheRightChapter.com. That's ChooseTheRightChapter.com. Thanks for listening.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at WeConsiderWA.org.
Wenatchee is gorgeous in the spring with its lush green rolling hills, abundant wildflowers everywhere, and the views of the Columbia River. The local food scene offers an abundant selection of authentic international cuisines featuring the unique farm-fresh ingredients of the region. Wenatchee is also home to award-winning wines, handcrafted hard ciders, and a talented handful of local brewers producing fine craft beers. Visit Wenatchee, the heart of Washington State.
The world needed a safer trampoline. Dr. Keith Alexander, inventor of the Spring-Free Trampoline, wanted to bring the joy of trampolining to his daughter. His wife said they were too dangerous, so he invented his own. Spring-Free Trampoline is the world's safest trampoline, with no springs or hard edges. Now, parents can have peace of mind that their kids are outside jumping safely. To learn more, visit springfreetrampoline.com.